Hey Fragrance family, I'm Daver.
I'm Jer.
And we're the Fragrance Bros.
Fragrance Bros.
Coming at you again with another fragrance review, this time on Épice Marine from the Hermes collection of Hermes. Alright, so let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2013. It's classified as an aromatic spicy. Notes are cumin, hazelnut, sesame, cinnamon, cardamom, bergamot, sea notes, whiskey, vetiver, and oak moss. Alright, so what do you get of longevity out of this?
Good longevity to me. I mean, it's supposed to be fresh or whatever, but like it gets like 8 hours, which is pretty long for one of these Hermes fragrances. They were historically kind of on the lighter side a lot of times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, a lot of them are, yeah. Yeah, I also get really good longevity as well. Probably in the 8-hour range, maybe even a little bit more. But I'll have to get back to my caveat here in a second. What about projection?
It's not great.
That is my issue with the fragrance. Like, it lasts a long time.
Oh, that's your issue with the fragrance?
Yes, it is.
That's your issue?
That's my main issue.
Oh, okay.
At first, it's in the average range, and then it just gets closer and closer, and it's just a skin scent for most of the time.
Yeah.
Season, I would say this is great for spring and summer and day mostly. And purpose, I would say this is great for casual and work. Now, what does this remind you of?
I hate this fragrance, man. I'm just gonna go ahead and just throw it out there so we can go downhill from there. Just peak and then come down. I really don't.
Can I dislike my own video?
This is not the first video we've made where we don't like agree. So, what happened with this fragrance? To me, what happened with this fragrance? Like, I don't know what the combination of notes here like boggles my mind. I don't understand. I can't imagine a world where JCE smells this final product and goes, "That's what I wanted to make. That was what I set out to do. Mission accomplished." Because, like, well, here's what I smell when I smell this fragrance. I smell predominantly cumin, what I think is cardamom, and then kind of like, I don't know if it's a sea notes, but it's something that has a watery feel to it.
Yeah.
Layered on top of the spices, and I mean it literally. It feels like it's kind of on top. The spices are underneath, and it's kind of wet on top. And I don't ever want to smell like wet spices. You know what I mean? Just being really serious. Like, there's not this. I smell this. I'm like, I don't want to smell like this, because I know that you have kind of an affinity on some level for like the peppery cumin kind of things.
Yeah.
And they work well on you. To me, they just smell like body odor. You know, and they don't smell like when you wear them, you don't smell like body odor. But when I wear it on me, I feel like I smell like stank BO. Yeah. Like get in the shower.
It makes you feel uncomfortable.
It does. It absolutely does. Like, you know, there's no worse feeling than being uncomfortable in public, right? That's a really negative feeling. Yeah. So obviously, I'm gonna really have a negative feeling about this fragrance because I feel stinky, and also like stinky. But I was at the beach, you know. Like, I just got done playing a long game of Top Gun volleyball on the beach, you know. So now I got to go in public smelling like that. I really don't appreciate anything they did here.
Dude, I love this fragrance, dude.
Why? Tell me why. Tell me more. Tell me more. Why do you love this? Okay,
so backstory real quick. Whenever this first came out, I remember we talked about it, and
we're both stoked.
We were both stoked.
Yep.
And I said there's a cumin note in there, so I'm not sure how you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
And I remember when around the time it came out, I went to go see my dad in Texas, in Houston. They have an Hermes store there, so we couldn't get samples through the Hermes site because they never have samples of this.
Yeah.
So went to the Hermes store there and tried it. It was instant love at first smell. Instant. It is so unique.
I thought you were going to make a Texas taco cumin joke. I was like, where is this going?
So yeah, it was instant love at first smell. Every time I smell this, it reminds me of Houston. It also reminds me of a family trip to Boston, because I took this and one other fragrance, and I wore this a lot up there. Okay. What I like about this scent is, I don't mind the cumin, like you said. Like, I actually do like cumin as a note if it's done well. And this, I think it, personally, I think it is done well because it's not overbearing. You know, unlike like Poivre Samarcand, which I actually still love Poivre Samarcand, but that's even more cumin. Yeah. This one is, like you said, it's like underneath a layer of other things. Like, there's a salty sea note in there, and some other things. But what I love about this smells like the evolution of the aquatic. So the aquatic genre has been around for a long time, especially with like Aqua di Gio having like the salty note in there. all of them after that have like been wanting to like all salt and fresh and stuff like that. So they've all copied that. They've all kind of had like a general kind of generic type of smell.
Yeah, that bologna cologne.
Yeah, the bologna cologne, and they kind of have like a cheap smell to me every time I smell some of those.
Yeah.
This smells like an Aquatic, but smells rich. Like every time I smell it, I think, wow, this smells so expensive. So it has a little bit of a weirdness factor.
It does.
That I will definitely give it. It has that cumin note, which seems like it clashes with the overall thing, and it kind of gives it almost a stinky quality to it. To me, it doesn't go into stink.
Yeah.
It just adds like a contrasting note.
Okay.
And there's like a almost like a plasticky type smell in there that I actually really like.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a little bit of citrus in there that's really nice. To me, it's just like this really smooth, watery, spicy, fresh fragrance that is really, really good.
Wow. How different we see this fragrance.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's a matter of perspective, I suppose.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Of olfactory perspective, just like in the Ultra Zest review where the new freshness I had an appreciation for, and you maybe not quite as much.
Yeah.
On this, you like what they did, and I just think, boy. Like you think, I mean, like, I can see how you see this as an evolution of the Aquatic, and I feel like it's kind of like a de-evolution, like running back to Cro-Magnon man with this or something like that. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, and to be fair, I don't like cumin, the actual cumin.
Yeah.
Like I like tacos, which I know the taco seasoning is heavy on cumin, but when I smell tacos and like I don't know tacos are cooking, but I just catch a whiff, I think someone smells like BO. That's what I always think.
Yeah.
So there's a negative connotation for me. So I may be biased against this from the outset, but I don't know. I just didn't care for it, man. And
yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I remember talking to you one time, and you said it smelled like a neighbor that you used to have that was that used to cook a lot of Indian food.
Yes, yes. We had a neighbor when we lived in apartments, right? So they cooked a lot of food heavy in curry, and whenever I was outside, and then they opened their door, just the act of opening their door, the curry would rush out, and I would just catch a whiff of it, and I don't like curry either, so it was just so strong.
I love curry.
You love curry. You are a very interesting and eclectic person. You know that? A man of varied tastes.
What's funny is, because I didn't really get the curry connection, even after you said that, I didn't really get the curry connection. But when I was in the Boston area with my family, we had some samosas. So samosas are like this dough ball kind of thing with potatoes and peas and spices and stuff like that. Kind of like a savory type of thing, and it's fried.
Sounds good.
I think it's amazing. Well, what happened was I had some bites of samosa, and then I drank some Sprite. It tasted exactly like it smells. Samosas and Sprite equals Épice Marine.
Okay.
Like exactly.
Wow. Broke the formula. That's all it is. Just straight profit for Hermes. Just Sprite.
So I also need to mention too that when I was in the Boston area, I went to a Sephora and was smelling some of their line there, and I smelled Cartier Declaration, and it smells a lot like this. It's a cheaper fragrance, and I haven't had a lot of experience, so I haven't had a chance to really test it to kind of A/B them to see how close and how different they are. But when I smelled it on paper, I was like, wow, this smells a lot like Épice Marine. Jean-Claude Ellena made Declaration. I don't know if he kind of rehashed the formula that was in his head or whatever, like a sketch that he had, and it's kind of the same thing. He didn't even realize he was doing it. But it smells very similar.
I know what he did. He's like, you know what I think I'll do? I'll make this again for 10 times the price.
It really is. Probably more than that, actually. Bang for buck, this is $255 for 100 mil. I mean, that's pretty high for what you get.
Yeah.
That is on par with some of the more expensive niche offerings.
Yes.
To me, personally, I think it's worth it. It lasts a reasonable amount of time, the average range for a fresh scent. It smells super unique, and to me, it smells really expensive. I think you're going to say something else, though.
You know what? I'll be civil. It costs the same as all the other Hermes fragrances.
Now, what about compliments with this?
No, dude. No. My wife hated this stuff.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we have similar noses, so
Yeah.
like she's not gonna, you know, and like this is kind of the boundary pushing fragrances. She's never ever been a fan of. Ever, any of them. So I knew before she even smelled it, she was gonna hate it.
Yeah.
So no. What about Talia?
My wife actually likes this.
Really?
Yeah, she really likes this. She likes how the freshness of it.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
And yeah, and the lightness of it too. It is on the lighter side, so she usually likes scents that aren't really strong. So that appeals to her as well. Okay, so final rating, what do you give this?
Well, it feels cheap to say 1 out of 5. That's what I feel like saying. Though. I'll give it a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
It's not the worst thing I've smelled.
Not worse than Puff Samarkand? Because you gave that a 1 out of 5.
Okay, all right, 1 out of 5 then. At least with Prof. Samarkand, like I can appreciate the idea. Like it doesn't work for me, but I like peppery fragrances. It just went too far for me. Like if they'd reined it back, I could have liked it more. But this, the combination of the notes to me was like a train wreck. I can't deal with it at all. It would only be fair to give it a 1 out of 5. So you made me do it a 1 out of 5.
That's funny.
It's really your fault.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 5. I freaking love this.
What do you say, man?
I'm gonna buy his decant too. So that's all we have. Let us know if you've tried Épice Marine. Let us know what you think of it down in the comments down below. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. We'll see you next time. We're the Fragrance Bros. Bye.
Bye, guys.